to all of you that you are here in the meeting. And I would thanks and the Sudwind that give me this opportunity to talk to you and human rights activists and the people who were suffered, then not talk about them here. The topic that I want to talk about today is about honor killing, and is related to 3 articles that I have it there in Tabriz city. And I wrote it about them, but unfortunately they didn't allow to publish. I would like to dedicate to the people that were victims of the people, unknown victims, that they didn't allow to advocate their name in the newspaper or media in Iran. Honor killing is related to the people that related to the father, brother, or husband, that they think or they believe that the woman had an unfaithful relation, or assuming that they have that relation. So they would kill them to honor the family. Honor killing that can distinguish to the 2 parts, classified in the 2 parts, which is a motivation that behind of that one is the relation and thinking the honor of the family is under question. And then the victims in that situation were claims that they will have to kill them because they were thinking that the people, their father, and this is one of the worst violence that we can find it against of the women, and on the name of the honor of the family they committed this crime. This violence of the human against of the women, and in community, the Iranian community is one of the third world related, and it's rooted in the culture, Iranian culture. Women, like the men, they have the problem, and they were killed or victims for many different reasons. But the women there were killed just because they were women. Honor killing had been to be decent that in the language and the culture in the neighborhood are and they're connected to the slavery, and then women are not a woman. It's okay. Women and women, they have to be faithful, honor the family, and then be shy and submissive. Those are characteristics are connected to women to are govern the women's body and the soul that rule them in the society, in the family too. The ownership of the man over the woman, it would define in that field. If the slave crossed the line in the slavery ideology, women, by not accepting the patriarchic, and then but dishonor the family and the man, and the position of the man would in the tribe, taifa, and the region would bring it down. Then, therefore, at the chain of the position in the society, therefore, and therefore he justified his action of the honor killing and the psychology of the behind the slavery, that the slave driver wouldn't under question that why he would do that. And violence in the family is a reflection of the violence in the society against of the women, and that therefore shows the position of the women in the society and the position they have in the society, in the culture and social law. So the man became the head of the family, and then men get the position above women, and then therefore in that position implementation of the violence or force, it became justified for a man against a woman. In the family, that the head of the family is a man, and lack of the self-esteem, immigrant, and going through to the modern life, and was not having the good education and living in the tribe, that would implemented the violence in the family. And because there isn't any law to prevent the violence in the society or in the family, cause this problem. By increasing the honor killing in the world, regarding the international organization or United Nations, every year in 14 countries, 5,000 honor killings would happen. There are record 12 honor killing in United Kingdom, and the official report in Yemen in 1997, 407, and in Lebanon in the 2001, every month one. In the 2002, increased to the 20 people, and then the different, and the other them they reported the 2 to 3 honor killing reported, and Washington Post reported in 2001 a minimum 200 honor killings, and mostly happen in the east and west. Probably in Iran it happened. According to the international from Kurdistan and Pakistan, and everybody, well, in there were killing more than 200. There's it with this recording that every year 1,000 people were losing their life, and according to the another record in Pakistan in 2002, where they were recorded as an honor killing that reported from January to August, 509 people, 549 people or women were killed. And in Germany in 2004, over 20 women were reported the killing caused by honor killing. In Afghanistan, 47 people or women every year would happen. In Jordan, 69% of the family, 14.3 were killed by the father, and 20% by the cousins. According to this report, the victims between 15 to 17. In Jordan, in 2002, 20 young women were killed because of the honor killing or honor to family were killed. In Kurdistan in Iraq, between 2000 and 2003, 384 young girls were killed to honor the family, where the murder of them were the closest relative, that the average of those people between 32 to 35, 23 to 25, and according United Nations report, every year 5,000 people young were killed. Honor killing would happen, and mostly they were from the west of Asia and north of Africa and south of Asia are there. The minimum 1,000 women would happen in 1999 were killed to honor the family. According to the family in Pakistan, according to this crime mostly happened in the Islamic country. But as you know, that the religious people or religious scholar has nothing to do with the Islam. And the researchers in that university shows is in last 7 years there are 300 honor killings case were in the court in Turkey. There are many of these honor killing will happen in the Kurdistan in Turkey. This decision shows by increasing the submitted to the court, there are many young people were killed suicide, and many of them they were young boys that they have to decrease the punishment. There are three different reports in Tabriz. Well, I would like to announce you. The first one, when I was 183, well, I was journalist in the newspaper were Ahrar. We reported that there were one student was sent in the street named Woods where was killed. I was with the one photographer. We went to the place. it was an elevated tala, and it was the narrow and dusty way led to the very simple and poor family. When we researched it at the time, we realized that this young girl is one of the poorest people in that city. And she was starting the relationship with a young man that was there. It was many months they were together, and unfortunately that man was the married man. And then they get during their school, well, believe in him and start going out with him. And then with unknown reason, that girl were killed by the dead boyfriend. And then her family will take a case to the police. And then the police would find that young girl in the well in the man's, the old boyfriend. And the murder was imprisoned, and then on the question he would admit it that he had a relationship, and then killed that young girl and throw her in the well to not nobody find it about her. And then after many research wanted to publish that news, and with another reporter we went to another street in the street roads. We went there. We did a local area is one of the poorest area in Tabriz. There are many people that the mostly criminal people live there. We went there and interviewed both families. Father and brothers of the girl were extremely unhappy, and they were believed that they lost the face or the owner of the family, and they will beg me to not to report this news. They didn't want to publish in any media because they believed if they knew that if their daughters they had a relationship with out of the marriage, all their families or friends and relatives would condemn and call them bad name. Well, my report with all the picture were ready to publish, and I give it to the typist, and we wanted to editing the news, and then my editor called me and told me, and at the time of the editing the page told me to censor that news. I was so surprised because I put a lot of time and effort to write that report. I was asking the editor why, and then he replied back, the family of the girl are very unhappy and upset, and they asked me whether, and the father of the family, the girl, said, if you publish that news, I will kill myself and all my family. Editor was, well, instead of thinking about the honor of the paper and freedom, we have to think about the people's life in the society. Father and the family of the victims came every day, coming to the newspaper, and they were talking to the editor. Even the day that we supposed to paging an editor the news, they came here and stayed there. Anyway, my editor didn't allow me to publish that news. Not in my news and then many newspaper. However, after some time or some years after that, that man came out from the prison and he came back to the and that's the reason because of the order of the family address of them, they didn't publish that one. And like many news or events like that, well, were buried in the other paper and filed it in there. I'm really sorry that my time was short, and I tried to bring a lot of documents and reports for all of you. But I'm really sorry that because of the lack of time, I have to cut up my news. I would like you, because of the short time I cannot print it out, I would like you to go to the website and see the rest of them. I try to give you just a bit of them. But we have to realize it. The honor killing would happen because of the lack of the education and violence, and in the closure of the tents of the human rights, everybody defining that. Everybody has an opportunity to take these or her case to the court to gain the justice. In the 36th well, wait, what you mean? The closure. Clothing, dولتی
At Article 5 of the CEDAW, it's written that the government who has ratified should do all these: changing the beliefs and culture of the population to change discriminations, and implementing the culture that bans discrimination. Over 90% of the countries in the world has ratified CEDAW. But still, and still the articles of them are accepted overall internationally, and still this is a kind of norm, international norm about anti-discrimination against women. Therefore, even if the countries have not ratified CEDAW, they have to use these norms. For example, Iran has ratified the Convention on the Right of the Child, and still the marriage old is less than is 9 years old. So it's come in the Convention on the Rights of the Child that they have to take care of the bodies of children as well. Honor killings are a clear a clear side of the violation against children. Just changing the laws won't help to work against honor killings. There should be also cultural changes. The changing of the laws that goes on stoning, that goes on honor killing is very important, and women as well as men who believe on this should fight against discrimination and honor killings. The humanity should not accept this kind of criminal acts, the honor killings. Nobody is allowed to kill another person. We have to fight against systematic violence against women, and the answer to the Islamic Republic of Iran is that what are you going to do with all these violences against women, stoning, honor killings, killing women, violence against women? What have you done? I hope that the Human Rights Council here at the 24th session works on the violation of the rights of women in the Azerbaijan, and ask for the accountable people. I hope that we come to a day when people who are thinking somehow else rather than the regime are not arrested and being taken to prisons or be killed. I hope we have a day in the world that there is no stoning or honor killings. Thank you.